Hi, we are going to talk about how to analyze data on the Mockup Study type. This is a sample study, and we are on tab number 3, which is Study Results. What we can see here is that we can either set and increase the number of participants. We can export the data to several different formats. All of them are CSV files, but basically we can export from the rawest data possible, from row gazes to areas of interest data or survey data. Here in the middle, there is the participation link, but we are already aware of what it does. On the statistics and tools, we can see how the study was performing. There is a total list of participants, including their quality grade. We can also study participant drop rate, or if we would like to debug. We can also see the full logs of participants. But let's go back to the study. When it comes to data analysis, we can do it in two ways. Firstly, we can run the typical individual qualitative data analysis, so we can see each individual participant and discover how this person was interacting with the mockup. Let's hit back and go to this individual participant recording. When we hit play, we will see a visualization of the gaze and the fixation plot. We can also see that mouse movements are recorded and presented, including mouse clicks. Here on the bottom, we can also enable additional layers of the attention detector and emotional detector. So, RealEye can detect whether the participant was either smiling or surprised. The attention is based on the so-called K coefficient that detects how the fixations and saccadic eye movements were recorded during the study. The recording can be downloaded or shared with anyone from within your company or outside your company. It can also be embedded on your page like a YouTube video. Let's go back and see how the data looks in the aggregated data analysis. Let's take the landing page as an example. What we can see here is the filtering tab. We had 4 participants who took part in the study, so there is not much data. But we can already see some patterns. Here on the bottom slider, we can see how the attention was distributed in time. So we can observe what people were paying attention to at the first, second, and third level. We can also switch between fixations or gazes. The difference between fixation and gazes is described in one of the videos about eye tracking. Okay, let's check different stimuli. We want to learn how many participants and how fast we're adding this t-shirt to the cart. So to do this first, we would enable the clicks to see and visualize clicks. Apparently there are a lot of clicks on the Add to Cart button. But to quantify it, we need to create an area of interest. So let's create an area of interest on the Add to Cart button and save it. We would also create another area of interest, which is the actual visualization of the t-shirt. This helps us compare if the majority of attention goes to the t-shirt or to the product description. Okay, now we're ready to enable all the areas of interest to see everything at once. We can clearly see that the product description captured most of the visual attention. The visual attention index score is 75%. Next, the product itself received 53%, and then the CTA button. What's also interesting is that not all people have seen the Add to Cart button, only 3 out of 4 participants. And when it comes to speed and hold, the winner is always the product description. We can also see and select additional columns, like for instance the amount of clicks, average revisits, and so on, to discover more hidden insights. For example, people were on average revisiting this area at least 10% of the time, and they left a lot more fixations than on the Add to Cart button. If we want to kickstart somewhere and don't know where to start, we can support ourselves with Explain Insights, which is an arrow of interest insight explanation. With the summary, we can also switch between different view types, for instance, View Map or Fog View, to visualize how people were navigating with their eyes on this page. In the same way, we can select and analyze different screens of our mockup to discover which parts capture the most attention of our participants. All the data about the areas of interest can also be downloaded as a CSV file for further analysis. Once your studies, once your analysis, once you have finished analyzing your study, you can simply finish the study to archive it.